Welcome back.
This following video contains spoilers that might upset you if you haven't watched the series. It is advised to avoid this video for your protection of not being spoiled. Also know I love the book on Myheroacademia series and the characters, but sometimes life can be boring at times, so it's best to be a cringy at times.
Forgot the names of Class 1A? Oh, well, you're in luck, because it won't matter. We'll just get to the hero names. So let's get to it. Can't Stop Sparkling. Alien Queen, that manages to become Pinky. Froppy. Tenya, but decides it's too basic and later changes it to Ingenium. Gravity. Tailsman, Man, Charger Bolt. Red Riot. Anima, Sugar Man, Tentacle, Airphone Jack, Cellophone, Tsukuyomi, Shoto, Invisible Girl, Great Explosion, that later changes to Kachan, and later becomes, I'll reveal it later into the future, maybe, Deku, Grape Juice, and Grady. Deku with Gran Torino, out of readiness. Johto with Endeavor, all because his dad is useful. Kachan with Genus, for mental training. Ida with Manual, to get revenge. Revity with Gunhead, to learn some combat move. Froppy with Selfie, her family. Red Riot and Real Still, with Fourth Kind, to clean up garbage. Grady and Battle Fizz with Uwabami, for their beauty, or so I like to believe. Grape Juice with Mountain Lady. He's a servant. Unfortunately, he will learn hardly nothing but cleaning. Tsukuyomi with Hot. The only reason he's there is, 50% of the reason is to be a pawn. Airphone Jack with Death Arms. She is there to aid his team, and the rest don't matter. Gran Torino wants to train Deku so that Deku could stop injuring himself, and to stop him from being reckless into breaking more of his bones. Gran Torino hopes that the reckless kid will soon realize there's a way to use 100% of his powers without injuring himself. He can only use 5% of his quirk without damaging himself. So, I guess it's close enough, but probably needs to get 100% power without damaging himself. Otherwise, the villains will defeat him, and all hope will be lost. Tsukuyachi talks to Toshinari about what he discovered about the Nomu, and a possibility that somebody has the ability to give the quirks to the Nomus. All Might isn't pleased about this. He's really hoping it isn't who he think it is, which can possibly very likely be that person that he is thinking of right now. As that is going on, Shigaraki wants a few Nomus to let loose where Stain is. Why? Well, because Shigaraki doesn't like him. Or really, anyone for that matter. He only cares about those who work under him. Well, except for his master, of course. He destroys heroes that aren't worthy to be a hero. And Ida, the disobedient intern, is in the way, so obviously he stabs him because he's also no hero-like. Luckily for him, the other two disobedient interns come to rescue him. However, Ida is upset with the whole situation, so Todoroki reminds him that Ingenium is a kind hero and not a man of vengeance. Ida then realized that he was right. Afterwards, they all work together, except for Native, and they defeated Stain. Or so they thought. Midoriya is captured by a villain and saved by a villain. And now everyone is not able to capture the villain, Stain, because they're all terrified of him. Hopefully, they all become a true hero who wants to be a hero. Otherwise, the symbol of peace will be destroyed, and citizens will panic. Well, luckily for them, Stain is passed out due to his broken ribs that are piercing his lung, so they didn't have to deal with him. Oh, and Shigaraki is, he isn't happy because nothing is going his way. And all the attention is not going to him. it's going to Stain. After the incident, Kenji Surigame is disappointed with the students for breaking the law, and luckily for them, it is getting covered up with Endeavor being the one to defeat Stain. Just kinda disappointing, but you know, what can you do? However, Kenji does thank them from the bottom of his heart. What a good man he is. Gran Torino calls All Might and warns him that he better prepare Midoriya or else life will go downhill, especially with Stain's influence to the people who will carry on his belief. All Might prepares Midoriya by letting him sit down, telling him a story of all for one and one for all. Once upon a time. Yada yada, blah blah, end of story. So basically, he's just been telling Midoriya that he might have to defeat All for One with One for All, and that he's responsible for making sure to defeat All for One, because All Might won't be there. Oh, and he doesn't mention that part to Midoriya. However, he does tell Midoriya that All for One is immortal, and I guess somehow, some way, Midoriya has to defeat him, even though he's immortal. So, yeah, if he doesn't, you know, the symbol of peace will no longer be there, and once again, everyone will be in panic. After the interns, everyone goes back to their regular school system and goes back to class. And, of course, we're going to be talking about Class 1A. The other class don't really matter. Just bear with it. Now they have an exam to fight against teachers. Yaoyorozu and Todoroki against Aizawa. They succeeded, only because Aizawa is a big softie. Kirishima and Sato versus Cementos. They needed air, and so they failed. Asui and Tokoyami. Dark Shadow is the bait, but helps win it all. Talisman and Ida went full speed to escape from Power Loader. Chaco and Ioma versus 13. Love is drawn, or I guess it makes you crazy for a certain someone. Aishido and Kaminari versus Nizu. Nizu defeats them. Why? Well, because he hates humans. So, sadly, they failed. Jiro and Koji pass. All thanks to Koji. And, President Mike? He's dealing with his entomophobia. Thanks to, you know, Koji. Soji and Toru versus Knight. Mineta and Sero versus Midnight. Mineta's blood, sweat, and tear into succeeding into victory. Deku and Bakugo versus All Might. Aren't they supposed to, you know, work together? Well, who cares? They passed. Now that that's all over, they all go back to class, and they are told that they get to go camping to train more. Yes, to train. Not to have fun, to train. As they are getting prepared to go to camp to train, we get to talk about the villains. Shigaraki has 2 new members on his team. Toga, who shapeshifts into somebody after consuming their blood. And Dabi, who generates highly destructive blue flames from his body. They both want to work under Stain and not Shigaraki. Then why are you there? Being upset as he is, because, you know, they chose Stain over him, decides to fight them. But Kurogiri stopped the fight between those 3. However, Shigaraki is not cooled off and decides to blow off steam at the mall. And wouldn't you know, he catches Deku, tries to kill him, literally, but decides that All Might needs to go down, so he lets Deku off the hook. For now, anyways. Yeah. I hope you enjoy this chaotic review, because I kind of felt like, well, a scatterbrain. I try to fit in all that I can with the hero names, the intern, Stain, final exam, so on, and it turned out as good as I thought it would be, so I guess I'm happy with that. And that's all I have for you, lovely comrades. Have a great day, and an amazing day. I'm not kidding. Love you all. Bye, comrades.